Hello, I'm very excited about the video that I have for you today. Today I'm going to talk about the newest addition to my tattoo collection. I'm going to show you some clips of the process, talk about the healing, and then trace the tattoo to show you all the details. As you may have seen from my other videos, I'm working on a tattoo sleeve on my left arm. I'm doing it like patchwork style, meaning there's several separate pieces to fill in my skin real estate rather than one big cohesive piece. All my tattoos have been done by different artists here in Vancouver, Canada. I wanted a bit of a mixed art garden collection, but I would definitely visit all of these artists for more tattoos in the future. A shout out for Birdie, who did my newest addition, these gorgeous hair cutting scissors with flowers, leaves, and another snake buddy, which has now filled out the rest of my lower arm. Okay, so we did this tattoo in 2 sessions. We started with the outline in late December. That healed really nicely, and I booked in for about 4 weeks later to do all the color. This, I think, was the longest single session that I've sat for, and was definitely the most color. I felt great during the whole session, despite a few rough spots on these tendons. Ugh. I was feeling like a badass afterwards, but later that night I was like, oh shit, this is the largest wound I've ever had, and I'm hurting. So I passed out for a few hours and woke up delirious. I might have taken a painkiller at one point, but I honestly can't remember. Anyways, after about 6 hours, I removed the bandage and gave it a super gentle wash. When you do this, make sure your sink and countertop are super clean and that you're using a gentle, non-scented soap. Never rub the tattoo, but just let your soapy hand glide over it, and then slowly rinse with lukewarm water. You want to get off all that slimy plasma so that it doesn't harden into a tougher scab. I was not able to do that in one particular spot, just here, because it was so sensitive. So that was rough to heal after it hardened. I did my best. My wrist was super puffy and I couldn't hardly bend my fingers. They were so swollen too. I like to do what they call a dry heal. So after I wash my tattoo once, I patted it dry with a clean paper towel and let it dry out completely. Then I don't wash it again until I absolutely need to shower, and I only let it touch water for a few minutes at most. I prefer to do this so it scabs and closes the wounds as soon as possible. Some people prefer to ask their artist for something called second skin after they get a tattoo, so you can leave it on for several days after. Others insist on washing once per day, patting dry, and then drowning it with Vaseline. I have never done that, but I've heard some people recommend it. There's a lot of different opinions on the best way to heal a tattoo, but there's also a lot of factors. The size, how densely it's colored in, your skin type, etc. It all heals a bit differently. But ultimately, the main goal is to avoid infection. So as long as you're not touching it, not exposing it to bacteria or any irritants like chlorine or scented products, and that you're willing to be a vampire for a few weeks to avoid sunlight, then you'll be fine. Avoiding the sun is the easiest part for me. For a few weeks, it was super crusty and looked totally crazy. Patience is key during this time, and you must fight every nerve in your body to avoid picking or scratching at the scabs. No matter how bad it itches, you must resist. Finally, after a few weeks, the itching had subsided, the dead skin had turned over, and it was feeling pretty good. After a full month of healing, I filmed this video. Well, it's been a little bit under a month since I got my tattoo finished for here. So it's healed up enough to the point that I think I'm ready to do tattoo tracing and see how it goes. I'm gonna keep it very sort of casual, comfy. I've got lots of warm lights all around and not in my usual setup. I'm just gonna get right into it and I'll do a bit of narration while I go. I'm not gonna be able to hold the tiny mic while I do this though because I'm gonna need both hands. And I'll just narrate periodically, but I'll try not to talk too much throughout the video. But I hope you like it. And I'm really glad to see you again, by the way. Thanks for being here. My mic setup got messed up though, and it sounded terrible. So, alas, I'm doing voiceover after the fact. So, let's start with the why. Well, none of my tattoos have particularly deep meanings. They all just serve to cement a particular series of memories. For this one, it's quite simple. I absolutely love getting my hair cut, and some of my fondest memories are going to the salon with my best friends and my partners. Also, haircutting scissors are just pretty. As for the foliage, I'm just collecting garden vibes on all my tattoos, and I really like asking my artists to choose the flowers that they want to feature. And the snake, I just love them. And they live in gardens, and I love seeing how tattoo artists like to draw snakes. That's as deep as it gets. So let's trace and show you the details and play some sleepy, pretty music. You might not be able to tell with the color from this warm light, but the flowers are like a hot baby pink with a bright orange center and little petals falling down around the tattoo. This part was gnarly. Tendons are definitely my worst spot. The big flower is more of like a fuchsia pink, and it has so much ink color, so it was definitely feeling raw by the end of the session. It's very cool to have my wrist capped off, and then the snake reaches down my hand. I officially cannot hide my tattoos with regular long sleeve shirts anymore. We went for a golden yellow color for the leaves, and I didn't realize until I saw it at the end, but it matches the bee. Makes the yellow pop even more on him. Love, love, love. I never thought I would get such a bright coral color, but I'm loving it so much. I considered getting a more lime green color for the snake, but after I saw the coral drawn out, I was like, yes, let's do it. And I'm very glad. Okay, the scissors could not have been more perfect. The shape, the color, the shading, and the little crescent moon detail. Absolutely nailed it. this part of the scissors was right on the bone here, but I didn't find it too painful. It just felt like a very strong hammering vibration. It was odd, but definitely not bad. In total, I think this piece took between 7.5 to 8 hours. Outline was just over 3 hours, and the color was just over 4.5 hours. As always, despite being in a ton of pain afterwards, I was already daydreaming about what tattoos I wanted next. Not sure how something so painful and expensive can be so addictive. I really want to get my elbow ditch done next, but that is the only spot I truly fear. Too many veins, too many bad blood drawing experiences. Egg. But I know exactly what I'm going to put there. I will leave that in suspense for now, though. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little tour of my most recent tattoo experience. And I hope it won't be too long before I can do this again with another epic piece. You can find me on my other social media in the links below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Tell me about all your tattoo daydreams in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, we're back up here now. Thank you so much for coming by. I hope that you could see everything okay and that I wasn't moving too quickly, but I hope you enjoyed that. And I always have lots of plans for more tattoos, so hopefully it won't be too long until my next one again. But this one was quite the adventure, and I'm very happy that I got it. And I'm happy with how it fits and how it healed and just everything. I hope you have a really good night, and I will see you in the next one. See you in the next one.